Travis, you ran some special teams today. Would it be fair to say that you're still auditioning for your 4 PK forwards this season?
I don't know where you got the number 4, but we definitely tried some different players today on the penalty kill. So yeah, we're looking for different guys that might have to kill penalties.
And in regards to Brogan Rafferty skating with a group that looked pretty much like a regulars group otherwise, are you going to give some of your depth defenders a shot with that group similar to what you did in the bubble, or is the time frame too truncated here? Do you need to be making decisions? What can we read into it?
Well, you saw Chatfield was out of that group. Rafferty was in. Levy was still in. I mean, that is 2 of the young guys that are still in the group. I'm probably not going to put 4 or 5 if that's what you're asking, Thomas. I'm going to kind of have the mainstay group together from here on in, but they're going to get their chance tomorrow in the game again. And but I might flip some guys in and out of that group, and just depends how they perform, though.
Next up is Ian McIntyre.
Hey, Travis, I'll try not to take any calls in the middle of my question to you. Can you talk about just the value of getting the group together? Because I know, probably a couple of the younger guys are maybe disappointed not to be with the main group, but from a coach's standpoint, when you have no exhibition games, how important is it to get your NHL team together as soon as you can?
Well, it is. We've waited probably as long as I wanted to. Now, we debated on doing it right from the beginning. To be honest, we've only got 4 days, counting today, before we play a game. So, I think it's important to get that group together. Like I said, you'll probably see a couple changes throughout the next few days, but we don't have a lot of time. So those guys need to be dialed in with their details and their work, and going against the best players, gets them a lot better prepared for game 1. And we'll probably keep it that way from here on in.
And your first Nils Hoglander question of the day. I mean, we see his, skill, and we've seen that from the start of camp. Do you have any concerns about how he would handle defensive responsibilities? Because when you play with Bo, you're usually getting tough matchups.
Yeah, a little bit. I'd be lying if I didn't say how he's going to handle that. I think that's part of the big adjustment for rookie players in the NHL is your attention to detail, even strength, going up against better players. And yeah, I mean, we're going to have to figure it out if he's ready for that or not. We're just taking it day by day with him, trying to teach him. We're doing a lot of system work. Today's practice was a lot of different system work that he probably hadn't done yet. We've seen video on it. And, but again, like you said, we don't have exhibition games, so we're going to make these decisions on the fly.
Next up is Brendan Batchelor.
Following up on Hoglander, Travis, obviously we can see on the ice, but off the ice, how's he fitting in with the group, and how is he sort of handling his first NHL camp away from the rink, do you think?
Yeah, seems like an energetic guy. He seems to be fitting in. We're throwing a lot at him. He hasn't played a lot on the little ice, so every day is probably going to, he's going to get more used to it. I think just it's important that he's around the team and in this group right now, just to be around the guys and feel more comfortable. So, but yeah, so far seems like he's fitting in.
And with Rafferty, I know you already talked about having him with the main group here. Is there anything that you can really pinpoint in terms of an area of his game that he's grown from the first time you saw him to where he's at now?
I don't know. That's it's a hard question to answer. And sit and say I've seen him play one game, one scrimmage, couple practices. We liked him last year. I liked a lot of these guys last year. There's only so many days to practice, but I thought he had a good game, and it wasn't a slight against Chatfield either. We just wanted to give Raf a chance today with the big group, and we might change it again tomorrow morning on the morning skate, which is going to be a little bit like a practice as well.
Next up is Farhan Lalji.
Travis, back to Nils. We tend to like the obvious. What have you liked about his game, especially offensively, so far through the first 5 days here?
Well, I like the obvious too. He's quick. He's good with the puck. He makes plays. He wants to make plays. That's for me. He looks like he's confident enough to just play his game. Kind of touched on that, I think, in day one when we talked about young players and how they adapt and whether they're mentally ready to play at the NHL and confident enough to play. And I think he's shown that so far he is. He's tenacious, very tenacious. I've liked that part. He's not afraid to go to a hard area. When he's made a mistake in practice, when we talk to him, it seems like he's grasping what we're saying already. He knows when he's made the mistake. I think that's important as well with players, that they not only are they capable of understanding what you're telling them, but a lot of times they already know the mistake they made, and that's important as well. Being coachable, being able to learn on the fly is going to be important for any young guy that comes in the league, but especially right now this year when you're not only are you not playing exhibition games, you're not going to have a lot of practice time either. So you're going to need to be able to be a guy that can adjust and learn by just watching video or just knowing the game.
You also had Jake on the PK today as one of the forwards. Is there something in his game you see that might work there, or are you just kind of trying it out and see what comes of it?
We tried out a few guys. I think we had Gaudette today, Jake, Roussel, just looking at different scenarios. Obviously, Jake's skating is something that we've thought that maybe he'd be a good penalty killer, but it's all for young, skilled players that come out of juniors or wherever, college. They've always played the power play, and to become good penalty killers, sometimes that's harder than being a good power play guy. So yeah, we're going to try to do this a couple days where we get a look at a couple different penalty killers.
Next up is Gemma Karsten-Smith.
Hi, Travis. We're about halfway through camp now. How does this feel different than camps in previous years?
Well, the obvious, that we're not playing exhibition games, and it's a lot shorter. But other than that, it doesn't really feel any different. We're pushing the guys, but still monitoring and trying to make sure that they're getting enough rest, not over push them. Maybe a little bit harping a little more on details and making sure that every drill is done right. Maybe I say that, like, you're always kind of doing that as a coach, but it's obviously important right now when you're not going to have games to make corrections like you would in a normal regular season with exhibition games.
With a shorter camp and no exhibition games, do you rely more on the players to do more on their own, like more video and more that kind of stuff?
No, we don't. I mean, it's pretty standard in training camp. We're throwing a lot at them. I think every coach is showing their team their structure video right now and running through it. The good thing about it, I find, our guys have a pretty strong understanding of how we play already. We're not changing a whole lot in our game. A lot of it's review. A lot of it's being stronger in a couple areas maybe that we felt like we had to get a little stronger in, but we're not making a lot of wholesale changes to what we're doing. So, and we've only got a couple new guys in the room. So, but Schmitty's a veteran guy. Usually veteran guys, you can talk to them and you don't even have to show them video. But other than that, that's about the only changes.
And with the last question for Travis is Jeff Patterson.
Oh, I made the grade. Travis, it's Friday afternoon. You and Jim met the media on Sunday to kick off camp, and you also announced Hamonic's PTO on Sunday, 7-day quarantine. Do you know yet, like, will he be on the ice with you guys on Sunday? Or do you know when he can start skating with you as a group?
It's my understanding that he should be able to skate Sunday. So I'm hoping that he does.
And what's his camp going to look like then? I mean, veteran guy, you talked a little bit about that a moment ago, but obviously with just a couple of days before you open on Wednesday, do you just lean on him being a veteran guy and sort of plug him in and hope that he doesn't need a whole lot of a camp?
Wait and see. Just got to see how he looks, how he feels, where he's at. I don't want to make a decision or even, I don't think it's even worth commenting on, really, to be honest, until we see him in person and talk to him and see how he feels.